Yeah, me too. Like I pre-ordered my shit, got mine, and bro, I'm on my second controller, about to be on my third.
Oh, damn. Oh, one more.
Yeah, totally.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here, bro. So, do you want to improve your movement on controller, but you don't play claw and you don't have an expensive customized controller with paddles or back buttons? Well, this is the video for you, because in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys some tips and tricks to improve your movement without having all these things. But even if you play claw or have a customized controller, these tips may still apply to you. So let's jump right into this puppy. So let's jump into one of the most important things that you can change to improve your movement without having all these other things. So what we want to do first is we go into options. We got BR button layout and we got the default, right? Everybody knows what default's all about. If you play on this one, then I might suggest you to switch to one of these. First off, I like to flip my L1 and R1. This doesn't have to do anything with movement, but just so you guys know on why it says flip beside my name. So all you have to do is click square on that. So the first one and the main one that I use is tactical flip. Now let me tell you the main differences in this one. So we got our hand cam right here, and with your usual default, right, with circle you crouch, and with this one right here you melee. Now if you got the tactical, what you're gonna do is just gonna switch these around. So now with this one you're gonna melee, and with this one you're gonna crouch. What does that allow you to do? That allows you to play like this just normally, and when you want to crouch you press this one, and as you guys can see, my aiming finger is still on the thumbstick, so I can crouch all I want while keeping my finger in here. Again, sometimes it's going to be a little bit difficult to melee people because again, you won't be able to move your aim and then melee. So that just gets a little bit more complicated. Let's go into the next one. Next one that we got is this one, the bumper jumper or bumper jumper tactical flip. And let me show you what this one does. So now let's say you just want the plain bumper jumper, right, without the tactical. What that's gonna do is that's gonna switch this one, your X button, and your bottom one right here. So the one that you'd usually either aim or throw flashbangs, again defending if you have flip, but it's gonna switch X and this one. So what it's gonna allow you to do is gonna allow you to play like this, and then obviously you have this one right here, and you're gonna be able to jump like pressing this one while still keeping your analog stick in here, because again, the most important thing you want to do is you want to keep your aim thumb on your stick, right? Obviously before, if you want to jump, you'd have to click this, right? So you'd have to move your thumb to jump. This one allows you to do that. Now if you play the tactical one, it actually does both of them. So you crouch with this one and you jump with this one, so you could play like this. Now the reason I don't play like this is I just never really got used to jumping with this. It just always felt really weird, and throwing my stuns with this. I use my stuns like a lot. I think it's one of the most powerful and most broken things in the game, so I just never really got used to it. But if you get used to it, you can basically play like this without having any claw or without having any custom controller. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty, the things that you don't really want to listen but needs to be said. So most important thing you want to know when you aren't playing claw or where you aren't playing with a custom controller and with paddles is that there are just some movements that aren't going to be favored towards you, right? You got to accept that. You got to know what movements you can do and what movements suit your play style better and which ones you can't. For example, for me, since I don't have the bumper jumper and I have to jump, I have to take my thumb out of my aiming stick. I don't do it that much. Now I do it sometimes, once in a while, right? It's good to do it, but I don't do it most of the time. Now since I play in tactical flip, what I do is I do a lot of drop shots and I do a lot of head peeking, which is you crouch peek, crouch peek, crouch peek. Now you basically excel at the things that you can do, and the things that you can't do, well, you kind of leave them. It's kind of like when you go to university. I mean, maybe you haven't, but when you go to school, you usually major in one thing and you got some minors and some other things, right? Same thing here. You got your major in here, which you know what's your strong point, and then you got some other minor points. So sometimes if you can, then jump shot. but most of the time, you're really, I'm letting you guys know here, if you don't play claw or if you don't have that custom controller, it's going to be really hard for you to look like you have cracked movement, like you're jumping and moving all over the place. That it's going to be really hard. So that's just the facts right here. You're not going to watch this video and then be the most like guy on crack ever. Nah, you just have to know what things you're going to be good at and what things you're not. Again, if you're playing bumper jumper, then you can basically do a lot. But a lot of people do play on tactical flip, and you just got to know the truth. It's going to be a lot harder for you to do the jump shots, so focus on the things that you can do right. But now with that being said, there's some movements that you can do to kind of like improve them, and I'm about to show you right now. So let's get right into this puppy, right? So we all know the basic drop shot, right? If you, again, I have it on tactical right now, so obviously I'm crouching with this one right here. So we all know the basic drop shot, right? This is a lot easier that you can do while aiming. So now let's do some movements that can take it to the next level. So let's say you got an enemy right there where I just spray painted that dude, and you can't do the jump shot, right? You don't play claw, you don't do any of that. So it's a lot harder for you to do the jump shot because you gotta jump and then put your thumb back in here. So it can be done, but it takes a little bit of practice. So what you can do is you can take this to the next level. So you can do a slide cancel drop shot. And what this is going to look like, I'm going to do it by steps, right? So the first step right here is just doing your basic slide, right? So you're going to run, you're going to click once, and you're going to move and rotate towards your target, right? So you're going to move and rotate towards your target. What you're going to do is right when you're about this point, you hit the stop button again, right? And the way that's going to look is you slide, stop. All right, pretty easy. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna slide, you're gonna stop, and then you're gonna hit it again to complete that drop shot. And this is what it's gonna look slow-mo. Slide, stop. Oh, sorry about that. You gotta hit the stop before the slide finishes, because if not, that'll happen. You'll stand up. So slide, stop, and then drop. And once you do it pretty fast, this is what it's gonna look like. And it's honestly one of the most savage moves that I do that a lot of people don't expect, because yeah, a lot of people expect like the bunny jump, like, oh my god, you saw right there, it sucks, I can't do it. So a lot of people expect that, but this one's a pretty deadly one as well, because they just see you slide and then all of a sudden you're just down on the ground ready to slay somebody. So again, this is what it looks like, and you can like do it while shooting and then also like stop. So like you shoot and then you drop shot, so you don't have to do it instantly. So you can play around with this move, but it's one of the best moves I know, that I utilize it a lot. Now, the other movement that I wanted to show you guys, that it's pretty self-explanatory, but I just want to make sure you utilize it to your max. Again, if you're not the kind of person that can do the jump shots, doing the snake, I guess a lot of people call it snaking, but I just call it, you know, like crouch peeking basically. And this is what you do. As you guys can see here, it allows me, because I have this right here, I can crouch while moving my aim. And this is one of the most overpowered things you can do in Warzone. And I don't see that many people utilizing it. It is really broken that I think the Warzone creators realize that, because in Vanguard, when you do this, like, you go extremely slow. So just maybe be aware that in the future this is going to be nerfed, but as of right now, you can keep on using it. And what you want to do is this is just what you do. It's basically snaking. You take a couple shots, knee down like this. One of the most important things that you can do is that always like follow your target through the obstacle. It's going to make it a lot easier for you to maintain your target, because let's say if it's this guy right aiming at you, he doesn't know what side you're going to peek on. So it's always very important for you to know when you're where your target is. Also, like, if he's fairly far away, something that I suggest you doing is pinging. So you can either ping the target like that, or just obviously double ping the target. And as you guys can see, we can follow him through the object, right? And that's a pretty nasty thing that you can do. So just remember to always ping the target, and it'll make it a lot easier. Now, if again, sometimes I do the jump shot, right? Sometimes you have to do it. So I'm gonna teach you like the easiest way to do it when you have to move from side to side like this. So what you want to do is, again, since you have to jump here and then in the air move, and then when you're about to drop, hit this again to do the bunny jump. I mean, let's say I don't turn around, but basically to do this right here, obviously you have to turn. It's going to be a lot harder. So what you try to do is that from that first jump you do, you want to align yourself to the target as close as possible. That's really all that you want to do, because you're going to want to jump, align as close as possible. But as you guys can see, it's hard, right? It's hard. But so you just have to get used to it, I guess. And then once in a while you'll get it, but again, I'm not the best at doing this. That's why I say you have to know your strongs and you know how good you are. So something that I do suggest you doing is not completing the full bunny hop. Reason being is because if you jump and you get that first one and then you're shooting him, he already knows you're here, and then you got to jump again and adjust, jump, adjust, jump, adjust. This is going to be a lot harder for you when you have to move your thumb. So what I suggest is just keeping your jump shots to 1 jump minimum, and all you're going to do is just your basic jump shot right here and get those right here. Those are the ones I usually do. I don't usually do these ones because again, it's really hard if you're already engaging that enemy to like adjust aim. So just don't do the bunny jumping. Like if you don't play claw or have bumpers, you're not going to be able to do it. So just stick to 1. So you can do the 1 right here, and again, you can customize it, right? You can add some other moves. So this is your basic one where you just do the 1 jump, but you can also do it with the slide, right? So you slide and then you jump. So just add a couple slides, and as you guys can see, you can take your movement a little bit better to the next level. And also, you can also add this with the slide drop shot. So this is the craziest one, but you can actually slide drop shot, and while you're in down below, as you guys saw, I creeped up a little bit. So you guys can do that as well. So you basically drop shot, and while you're shooting, you hit the jump button. So those are the things that you can do. But again, if you're trying to do the jump shot, just keep it to a 1 jump minimum. And ladies and gentlemen, let me know if this video helped you a little bit. Again, we're not going to be the best at movement for the players that play like this, but you can definitely play a little bit better. Now, if you want to go really aggressive and have crack movement, I am just letting you guys know that you will have to go full on sweaty just because your fingers are going to have to be moving all over the place, like here to here. So just get used to it that. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what y'all think. Peace out, and I'll see you all in the next one.